All right, so here we are in Ableton, and I've got all four layers in this one. You may notice by looking up here that this one says OT layer. I've made one of the layers for each track on my Electron Octatrack, which some of you may know of. It's a performance sampler and sequencer, but you can do so many things with it, and it's really excellent at mangling samples and really just destroying them, which I felt was appropriate for this project. So I've only got one of the layers soloed at the moment, or unmuted, and let's just play it and bring the volume up, and I'll bring in extra layers as we go to sort of explore this piece. So here we go. So yeah, that's just one. I mean, obviously that one layer is made up of 6 different tracks, but that was the amount of sound sources I had in that VCV patch. And then up here, there's another VCV patch made of 4 tracks. This one I edited a little bit. No, sorry, not this one. The next one. This one I edited a little bit after the fact to further mangle it a little bit. So let's bring in this next one. Bring the volume up again. And let's bring in, just to make things extra intense, let's bring in this third layer. Finally, let's bring in this 4th layer, which is the Octatrack. And now I'm just going to solo through some of these so you get a better understanding of what they are. You get the idea. So I'll just bring that volume right down. So yeah, like 3 different VCV patches and 1 patch, in a manner of speaking, using the Electron Octatrack. And this is what I've ended up with, and I've got just over 6 minutes of recorded audio here. But that's just those VCV patches. They're just playing themselves, because with the parameters that I have set up for them to play. Yeah, and then so when I play live, when I perform this live, I intend for these 4 layers to be mapped. I mean, ideally it'd be cool to have a vector crossfade, like a 4-way crossfade with like a pad that I could move around. Similar to vector synthesis methods used in mostly in the 90s in synths like the Wave Station and the Prophet VS or Vector, and it's quite tricky to get that working. There are ways to do it for sure, but as a stand-in for that, I have a DJ mixer that I can send digitally all of these individual layers to, and they can go to faders, which I can just ride the faders on. And I think that's what I'm going to do for this project. And I will also have my Octatrack there, which I can manipulate on the fly. And I'll probably have one live keyboard, which I'll improvise with as well. So there's lots of different avenues for this. I've got the audiovisual installation, which is the final product. I've got a live performance that I'm going to be doing at the end of this trimester, and I'm also going to be producing these tracks to be sort of finished versions, curated versions, if you will, rather than just kind of like, you know, a continuously evolving audio ambient space that you can just sort of live in. I will build them over time and fully arrange them and produce them to make them sort of a cohesive, well, as cohesive as they want to be, for like a finished version, so to speak. So yeah, let's move on to another one. Okay, so just looking at another one of my sessions here. This one's only got 2 layers so far. I've got sort of tracks down here for the other layers, but they're not recorded yet or made yet. This one is using the Miyako Bushi scale, which is also a Japanese scale. I just found that 3 of the 4 scales I've chosen were Japanese scales. I just found that they just worked. I don't know. They just worked for me. They just sounded correct. And then the 4th one is one called Neapolitan Major, which I've never heard of before up until now. In fact, the Japanese ones I hadn't heard of either. But Neapolitan Major does not sound major at all. In fact, it sounds very minor, which is kind of ironic. But we'll have a listen to that shortly. Yeah, this one sounds like this. And that's just one layer at the moment. Let's bring in the second layer. Say about it. I mean, that's 2 layers of 4. The other 2 I need to complete. This is a work in progress. This is a sort of progress report vlog, which I'm going to be doing over this trimester to sort of just track my progress and discuss the project. Cool. Let's look at the next one. Here we are again. This one is only 2 layers at the moment also. And it's using the Insen scale, so another Japanese scale. So let's just play it and have a listen. Both layers are active. yeah. Let's check out the next one, hey? This goes on for 6 minutes, this one, so we're not going to listen to the whole thing. Just getting little snapshots. Okay, so let's check out the next one. All right, back again. We've got the fourth and final piece that we're going to be looking at here. This one, like the first one I showed, the first Ableton session I showed, this one's pretty complete. We've got 4 layers all happening. So it's ready to go in terms of further arranging and what's the word? It's ready to go for more arranging and to sort of turn it into a curated, cohesive product. And so I've got my 3 layers of VCV and I've got my 1 layer of Octatrack here, and we're just going to listen to them all together. Maybe I'll solo through them at the end. And I'm just going to turn it up and not talk and just solo through them and audition them, shall we? So let's do that. Yeah, so that's kind of it. That's where I'm at so far. We're at week 5 in trimester 6. I've done quite a lot of work for this so far, but there's still a lot left to do. But I'm pretty excited with the direction it's taking, and I'm excited for the future in developing the project further and really exploring these concepts and these ideas. So I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is, in a few weeks' time probably, when I go through a lot of this stuff again. But yeah, peace. Catch you later.